This video made possible by the ICC Stellar Surveyors and subscribers like you.
Welcome back to Around the Verse. I'm Ben Lesnick. This week on ATV, Jared sits down with lighting artist Emre Switzer to talk about light in Star Citizen, and we visit with the QA team to learn what exactly quality assurance is and what they do. But first, it's Christmas Eve and I'm home alone. I'm very sorry. It was in the script. It is a short week here at Cloud Imperium Games. Folks are headed back to spend the holidays with their families, and we can't be more thankful for the work they put in this year. It was a tough year, but it was a good year also, and we all had an incredible time putting together this game, and we can't wait to get back to it. But first, a little break for everyone that we are excited to have. And hey, check out our incredible new set. If you saw the holiday live stream, you probably saw its exciting debut. This is what we're calling the Fan Cave. It's the least formal of the sets we're building here in the Los Angeles office, and we're pretty proud of it. The idea is that we're going to have it evolve and grow as the project continues, sharing things that fans send us. As you guys have known from watching us for the last 3 or so years, our backers are incredibly talented. They do everything from create 3D printed ships to metal signs to wooden coasters, and they share with us all the time. So we thought it would be cool to build, this friendly set that would share that with the world. So if you have something cool Star Citizen related you've created, send it in and we'll include it in our backdrop. But speaking of holiday live streams, how about that holiday live stream? Aside from some technical glitches, it was a pretty cool time. We heard from John Rice Davies and saw the latest in Squadron 42, and of course the secret we were all biting our tongue not to give away, the planetary demo. It's new procedural generated technology that's going to be used to create entire worlds, sort of like the Genesis device from Star Trek II. Guys in Germany actually have this working now, and they're going to be including in future builds of the game. It's really incredible. It's honestly more than I thought we would ever get to do when I started this project, and it's just so excited. It was just thrilling to see it. And then after the holiday live stream, we had a little party here. We took the entire team to see Star Wars The Force Awakens. No spoilers, but do check it out. And then we had a holiday party that kind of capped off this exciting, crazy year. The big news on Star Citizen is that Alpha 2.1 hit the PTU just under the wire. We have made it available to the first 16,000 backers who are helping us iron out the bugs of this initial build. 2.1 adds the Freelancer as flyable, the Saber as hangar ready, and it updates the EVA to a new system that should look and feel a whole lot better for people who are getting out of their ships and flying around in space. We likely will not be able to go to 2.1 live before the end of the year, as everyone is on holiday break right now, but expect to see more iterations and updates as soon as the team gets back to work. Now let's check into our studios from around the world to see what they're working on. It's news from around the verse.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Los Angeles, California for this week's update. I'm Eric Kyron Davis.
I'm Darian Rolick, and it's the last one of the year.
It's the last one of the year. Sad. but it's been a great year.
It has.
So let's wrap this up. We got a bunch of updates for you. You want to start?
Sure.
Okay.
With 2.0 being in the hands of you guys now, we are steadily working on 2.1, and with that includes Calyx is once again doing his balance pass, looking at the feedback from you guys on what we need to tweak, what we need to change, refactoring items, health, balance, all that fun stuff. So that's a large part of what Calyx does on a regular basis, so we are still working on that.
He also works a lot globally with all the team, right? We have our balance team, and they sneak in all their wish list items alongside the feedback you guys give us, which is incredible.
On top of that, in the past we've mentioned Paul Rindell, one of our lead engineers, has been working on a new item system for the game, and that has now been integrated into our code, so it's going to be forthcoming little by little as we push out new versions of the game. We can't really say which version is going to be released in. All we can say it's been integrated into the base code, so you're going to start to see some changes as we make it. It's a lot more functional, a lot more efficient system of what we're doing here.
And this is a big one for us. This has been in development for quite a long time, and it was very exciting. I could tell Paul, he did it right before he went on vacation. He was excited to get in. Mark Abent and a bunch of the team he was working with, so it's going to be exciting to just see those changes. It's going to really make a lot more, like you're saying, things efficient.
Yep.
A couple of things on the art side. We've got Matt Intrieri, one of our senior tech artists. He's setting up the damage states for the Vanguard.
Pretty ship.
It's a very pretty ship, and it's one of the final stages. There's a couple things we do towards the end of a ship, but one of them is damage states, getting it ready to explode.
Yep.
Hopefully it'll never explode, right? That's the goal when you buy a ship. But in case it does, we want it to look pretty cool. And then we're also always working on several ships in this studio. Another one is a Reliant. Ellen's working on Reliant. We want to get that in the hands of you guys as soon as we can. That one's looking really cool too.
Yeah, you guys saw a preview of it in the live stream that we did, so hopefully you'll start seeing more of that ship.
And I know Ellen's really excited about that one.
Yeah.
He's been excited about the Reliant for quite a long time.
It is his baby.
Yes, it is. So, all right, well, that's it. That's the final update for the year for 2015. Happy holidays, everybody. Again, I'm Eric.
I'm Darian.
See you next time.
Hey guys, Jake Ross here, Associate Producer of the Persistent Universe, and I'm here with you this week to talk a little bit about post 2.0 release things that we're doing, such as clothing manufacturers, some analytics work we're doing, and some testing on the party system. So clothing manufacturers, with Cassava Outlet Clothing Shop on the horizon. We are doing some work on kind of establishing these clothing manufacturers. We have these manufacturers for ships, we have them for components, for weapons, but we don't have any for clothing really. So we're doing some logo work. The excellent Clint Schultz is helping us out doing some logo work for us to come up with some brands for these manufacturers. Forrest Steffen and Mark Skelton are working on some style guides for the manufacturers. They all got to have their own unique look. So we're going to have all sorts of different clothing lines here in here pretty soon. We had some concepts done for the various clothing influences like Terra, fashion casual, and now we're breaking it down even more. Actually creating manufacturers within those lines. So that's pretty cool to see some brand new manufacturers come to fruition. We're doing some support on the analytics front now that you guys are all out in 2.0. We want to capture some more data and figure out what you guys are doing, and we have some issues that are being reported, and we just want to be as educated as we can on, like, is it on our side, is it on your side? We're trying to help solve those issues more efficiently, so we're improving our analytics front a little bit. So that's going on in the operations side. We're also doing some heavy testing on the party system, on contacts, friends system. We want you guys to be able to join your friends out there in the verse more easily. So the party system design as it currently stands needs a little work. So we're having QA take it through its paces and provide some feedback and gather you guys' suggestions out there, and then pass that off to the designers to help iterate on that a little bit. So there will be some design work on that, some back-end work on that, and then it'll go back to UI for some front-end improvements, hopefully here pretty soon. So yeah, that's the party system. I think that's it for this week. So yeah, we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Hi everyone, welcome to the UK. This week I've got Luke Presley with me, the lead designer of Star Citizen Live. Hi Luke.
Hi Tom, and hi everyone. who I want to thank for playing with PTU and helping us get out of a release of 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't have done it without you, to be honest. I would also like to make a very personal thank you to all the streamers out there who had me up till 2 a.m. most mornings, noting down bugs, and then rushing into work the next morning to fix them.
Lots of bugs.
Lots of bugs. I mean, I don't want to make personal call outs, but if you ever saw Luke CIG lurking on your streams and possibly jumping into chat to apologise, then, you know, that was me, and you know who you are. Obviously, we don't usually, like, as game designers, get this kind of chance to sit down and watch, like, from day to day, like, watch someone have the problem.
Yeah.
Next day, fix it. Next day, watch them, like, get past that.
You don't get that normally, do you?
No, you don't. I mean, most the traditional way of doing this is to maybe you'd get a few players in a focus test behind a one-way mirror, but then the game goes out, and that's when you get your feedback, and you only know if you've done it right or wrong at that moment.
This is something else.
This is something else. This is fantastic. So yeah, I just want to end by again thanking everyone and saying, you know, there's another PTU any minute. So I'll see you on the stream soon.
Yeah, thanks everyone. I'll see you in the verse.
Hey everyone, Brian Chambers from Frankfurt. This week on Code and AI, really a lot of energy went to getting 2.0 where it is and getting it stable. And I think they've done a hell of a job getting it there. Design pretty much carryover from last week, so nothing really new there. And on cinematics, again, they're continuing to push on cinematics, getting new characters in there, new scenes pulled together, and so on. So this week I brought two guys in with me. I got Robert Stevens, senior environment artist, and Chris Speak. Chris you've seen before, senior QA, and I thought they could come in and kind of talk what they've been working on and pushing on. So Robert?
Well, I've been working on space stations, working on a new high-tech mining facility. It's still a little bit kind of secretive at the minute, so I can't go into too many details.
What have you been doing on it?
We're literally looking to get the kind of the look and feel for the high-tech facilities nailed down.
Yeah.
So far what we've got is kind of more low-tech sci-fi stuff, and we're trying to diversify that, building some high-tech stuff in there as well. And just...
That's cool. And you and the other environment guys here, you work primarily with the UK team really tight.
That's right, yeah. I mean, the majority of the environment team's over in the UK, so there's a bit of backwards and forwards. But it's going really smoothly. It's looking really good.
Awesome.
Should be out soon.
Cool. How about you, Chris?
Well, I'm primarily CryEngine QA, so that's my experience over the past 3.5 years or so.
Yeah.
And what
I know the engine team was happy to get you in here.
And it's been a lot of work, so it's been kind of interesting too. But at the moment, I'm currently working on automated testing, which is generally getting everything running from scratch with just a very small amount of work to test everything from, say, hit reactions of AI to particles from gunshots, ricochets, physics, falling damage.
How does automated testing then benefit the engineers or benefit the team then once it's up and running?
Well, yeah, they tend to get like instantaneous feedback from any changes they check in on Perforce and any sort of updates they make to the code in general.
Yeah.
So yeah, they get, every time they make a change, they submit it, they run through the automated testing, and if anything breaks, we know within a few change lists of what actually caused it.
Yeah.
Which
that way it'll immediate flag at least based off the variables you said. That's cool.
Exactly. Ordinarily, what would happen is the changes would go into a build. The build then goes to QA. QA tests it, and we either find the bug or we maybe don't find it straight away, which can be kind of a problem too.
Yeah.
So by automating things and having these, they can only be simple tests of running through a level automatically, shooting AI, or jumping in a ship automatically, flying and landing, that kind of thing. But these things all being automated makes it so much easier to find these things, which results in a more polished product by the end anyway. So
cool.
It's cool.
Awesome. All right, short and sweet, like we always say. Thanks again to all the backers, and we'll see you next week.
As always, a big thank you to all of our studios. You guys are doing incredible work, and your week off is well deserved. Next up, Jared sits down with lighting artist Emre Switzer to talk light and darkness. Light and dark. I don't even know what I'm doing here. Light and dark. Light.
Thanks, guys. On this week's ATV interview, I'm sitting down with lighting artist Emre Switzer. Emre, how you doing?
Doing good.
Now, Emre, you came from the community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, that's a novelty. I've never heard of that happening before. Tell us about, take us back to the beginning. Tell us about how you became a fan of Star Citizen.
Yeah, I found out about the project from CryDev, which is the CryEngine modding community site.
Mm-hmm.
I've been involved with that community for the past 5 years or so. And then there was a news post one day about Star Citizen and Chris Roberts' new project. And so I checked it out, saw the first Kickstarter launch trailer, and I loved it. You know, space games are really cool, and the vision and the ambition of the project just is incredible. So I've been following it ever since then.
Gotcha. And when did you back?
I backed sometime in 2014. I don't remember the exact time. I think it was in the beginning half of it. So,
yeah, I didn't back. I didn't back right away either. Actually, I don't remember exactly when it was in. It was in 2013 sometime. But I was like, I needed to be shown more. I'm a cautiously optimistic and naturally. Can't think of the word I'm looking for. I'm just blanking. What is the word I'm looking for?
You're optimistic or pessimistic?
No, skeptical. Sorry, guys.
But it's
so I'm a skeptical guy, so I need to see some stuff to get, before I'd believe. And eventually, I definitely. Well, obviously, we both came around.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely worth it. I saw the ships in the hangar. I tore apart the level, started looking at how stuff was done. That's what modders do, right? So we went in and looked at how stuff was being done. It was really cool.
Now, you didn't go to school to become a lighting artist.
No.
And had you ever had another job anywhere being a lighting artist?
Not being a lighting artist. I did some freelance work for a couple years before then in high school, but no, not an actual job.
All right.
It's my first job, actually.
It's your first job?
Yeah.
All right, well, congratulations. How'd you get that job? What was that process like?
So yeah, I was tearing apart the hangars, and I thought one day, hey, let me try relighting this. Let me try, getting this to put my spin on it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did that, and I posted on Reddit, and a lot of people liked it, and they upvoted it. Some guys gave me gold. And then somebody here saw it, and I got an email saying, hey, let's come down, swing down here and do an interview. So, yeah.
So what was it, why lighting? Why was that the aspect that you said, hey, I can make that better?
I'm not sure. I'm just really familiar with lighting inside CryEngine. Just making cool scenes inside CryEngine. That's what I did for a while. I just went in, made forests and rivers and all that sort of stuff in CryEngine, posted it, got a lot of feedback from people on those forums. And yeah, I thought I'd do it. I don't know exactly why, but I did it, and it worked out. So.
All right, and some of your work is already in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Area 18.
Yeah.
Tell us about lighting Area 18.
Oh, it was a massive challenge. There's so many different areas of it. You have the large courtyard area in the front. You have these awe-inspiring vistas. You got all these shops, and blending those together properly is a pretty massive challenge because they all have their own styles, right? So each shop has their own visual language to it, right? Mm-hmm. And so making sure that the lighting amplifies that and builds off all the previous work done before on it, it's a pretty massive challenge. So.
All right, so you start with Area 18, and then you moved into the Southland hangar, which we were all pretty pleased with. We used to show the images of your work on the Southland in sneak peek for a couple weeks, and then it eventually went to release in 1.3. but some other issues impacted it, and maybe it didn't quite look the way we had all hoped. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so there's a pretty big difference between what we're seeing in profile and what we're seeing in release. We're not exactly entirely sure what's causing that right now. We've identified a few things which may be causing it, causing the issue, specifically with the path for the Automata not being loaded via FlowGraph, which is the visual scripting language we use. So we're working on that right now. Hopefully it'll be in 2.0, but we're not entirely sure.
Okay.
It's something that we're actually working on right now.
Gotcha. And after the Southland, you went to the Rebel in York hangar, which would, of course, be, some of that is in 1.3, but that work isn't even finished yet, right?
Yeah, no.
So not only is that work not finished, but it's also presumably affected by the same
Exactly, yep.
time of day issue. And I saw when I walked past your desk, you're working on Crusader. So tell us a little bit about lighting for Crusader.
Oh, it's massive, right? The entire level is, I don't even know how many kilometers. It's massive. It's mind-blowing. Yeah, so we divide the level up into all these different prefabs, which are free. Each station has their own prefab. So we go in and we light a specific level first, and then we package it into a prefab, and then we ship it off to the actual level. And so it's a massive challenge because you have to juggle all these balls, right? You have to worry about the time of day configuration for each prefab level, and then you have to also worry about the HDR configuration because you'll want to change the HDR, which is the auto exposure and the brightness of the scene. And that's going to be different on each of the stations. So your Alpha station is going to be brighter than your Bravo and Charlie station, which are the other stations within the level. So balancing that and finding the right balance between Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie is a massive challenge. So
I would imagine, with my limited experience with CryEngine videos before I started here, nobody would say I had any grasp of lighting at all. It was easily the worst part of anything I did. I was not very good with the lighting, so I understand the challenge that's involved in there. Before we let you go, we're going to do another segment. We kind of take a more in-depth look in the lighting, so we won't harp on that too much here. But tell us something interesting about Emre Switzer that maybe our fans, this is the first time they're going to get to see you, meet you. Will Leverett's a storm chaser, and Vanessa builds these tiny little swords and whatever. What do you do? What's your thing? What's your thing, Emre?
I mod games, right? I mean, and that's why I'm here, and I'm super blessed to be here. Yeah. That's really it.
Is there a mod that you're particularly proud of? Is there a mod that folks can still get for a game that you're like, yeah, that's a good example of my work?
Not really, to be completely honest. Yeah, I worked on a bunch of projects. I just helped people out, and if you guys are interested in learning more about CryEngine, check out the CryEngine community forum. There's a lot of great stuff and a lot of great people on there that really push and demonstrate what the CryEngine is really capable of. So, pretty involved with that community.
All right, Emre, thanks for taking the time to chat with us.
Yeah.
All right, back to you guys.
Thanks, Emre. Tune in next week for more Emre and more Nix. You Nix want to miss it. Nope, that was terrible, but we're still using it because we don't have another one. Next up, we sat down with the Austin QA team to talk about what they do for Star Citizen. Check it out.
Hey, I'm Justin Binford. I'm the QA manager here at Star Citizen for the US team, and I pretty much do like more of a project management role. I chase up a lot of issues, but I built the team here, and so far we got a great group of guys. What I like to do when I look for team members is I want them to have like a passion to be in the industry and to have a knowledge of a particular aspect or discipline, and that helps because QA pretty much encompasses all of our disciplines, and everything comes together at a single point, and QA is right there in the mix with a front row seat on all the action. It's pretty exciting. But I like for people to specialize in one discipline or the other so they can really delve deep into the subject, which also helps because multiple people have transitioned from QA into development, and so that's definitely an opportunity there, and I think specializing in a particular aspect helps with that. So yeah, that's what I do. I pretty much gauge priorities and kind of direct operations here in concerning QA. Yeah, that's me. And so let's go around in a circle here. Who we got here?
Hello, I'm Tyler Whitkin, also on the QA team in the Austin, Texas studio. Most of what I do revolves around the first-person shooter module or the FPS aspects that are going to be coming in 2.0. Yeah, I mean, that's it. I'll keep it simple. How about you?
My name is Jeffrey Pease. The community knows me as Bearded CIG. I have no idea why. But most of the stuff that I tend to take care of revolves around providing a support role to the QA team. I'm here to sort of provide a mentoring presence to the other specialists on the team, because prior to my being here, I was one of the only ones that had experience being a QA specialist, so I helped set that system up. And I also help look and understand the back end of the game, so if something breaks in regards to like matchmaking or the general instance manager, or if the game servers aren't working, I try and look into that stuff and help get people the information they need to add to their bugs so that the engineers have a better idea of what to fix.
Hey, I'm Robert. I'm probably the newest guy here of everybody here. I've been here a few months now, though. And I guess the specialty I've gone into now would just be I'm on the new baby PU. Kicking it.
2.0.
Yeah, 2.0. That's my thing. That's mostly. I mean, like, I'm really happy I got to do that too, because that's like what I'm most excited about. Like,
yeah,
like, it's really fun doing that.
It is the beginning of the game.
Yeah, it's awesome. So like, I'm really happy that I got to like just kind of worm my way into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert got his feet wet with the Gamescom demo.
Yeah.
And you were kind of really integral in helping LA with their playtests,
Right.
and you would be dialing in and
Yeah.
just kind of listening in and making sure everything they mentioned was bugged, and then you'd send out a full report.
Yeah, dude, I kind of showed up and it was like I'm still trying to learn all these different things and how to get the builds, and they were like, here, listen to these guys and like put in all these bugs as they're saying them, and they're just like shouting them at me like lightning speed. I'm like, I can't keep track of any of them.
I know. It was a monumental effort. Yeah,
It was
amazing.
fun though.
So from
Yeah.
there, you were definitely able to continue that, and now you're pretty much sending the updates for the Crusader 2.0.
Yeah.
We're also work really closely with the UK QA team, and so you have a counterpart, Stephen Brennan, and he'll be sending out his 2.0 updates, and you'll just add to that, and you'll keep it going, kind of a follow the sun type of situation.
It's a good situation. I like that it worked out that way.
Normally we will get in the beginning of the day, and we'll read any updates that the UK QA have. They have been by the time we get to in for the day, they'll have finished about 2/3 of their day. They get in about 3 a.m. our time, so about that time they have been kind of hammering on the build for a while, and so we'll get a lot of information from them, what we can test, what we can't test, and then we'll just continue the effort. But yeah, so there's a lot of testing going on. Robert, you also been working in with the editor a lot, so you do a lot of editor testing.
I wish I was doing more. That's like my interest, you know. I really want to get in there. I've been trying to get in and make buggy maps because I just want to do.
Yeah.
I want to make buggy flips and ramps. I'm gonna try to sneak it in if nobody noticed. I'm gonna check in a level that has a tiny little buggy ramp in the
Now
back
they're all
somewhere.
gonna look for it.
The old version of the hangars had a buggy obstacle course in
Yeah, I
there.
know. Yeah, I don't know why we got rid of that. That was
There's
awesome.
like a flaming hoop that you could jump
Yeah,
through.
we need way
had a
more
bunch
of that
of
stuff.
crates and barrels.
Yeah.
Like
maybe people wouldn't run each other
That you
down
can
so
run
much
over
if they
and
had a
stuff.
constructive thing to do with the buggies, you know?
Yeah. Well, luckily, in this next build, the buggies should be confined to the construction.
Right.
No more.
You can still be violent, but you keep
know
it
they'll
to your
find a
violent
way,
little friends.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
They'll find a way to
I
get the buggy
guarantee
out.
they will get
Yeah.
that buggy out of that little area. Like,
Put like
I don't know.
put like a little go-kart track in for the
Yeah.
buggies, the demolition derby go
Seriously.
kick.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. So most of us specialize in different parts of the game. For example, you know, Tyler, he'll do a lot of the FPS testing. Pease, he'll do the. He's actually done a lot of specific things, like when we came out with the lobby system. He was really like on top of testing that. But Jeffrey Pease has basically helped build the specialist department as a whole. So what another thing Jeffrey's done, which has been amazing, is that he's been very helpful in recording all of our documentation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a lot of
Our
really,
entire QA wiki.
Yeah,
Well,
him and
really
Marissa
good
pretty much write the
documentation.
entire wiki. Like,
And some of the customer support wiki too.
Yeah. So we have a super solid concept of what a specialist is and what their goals are and what their responsibilities will be. So it's definitely concrete and you know what to do. So if when we get new hires, they can go on there, and we have so much documentation. We have a new hire walkthrough, and it just gets people hitting the ground running.
Right.
And so
It's also really awesome
helpful.
to have a boss that gives you credit for the stuff you do. Working here is awesome.
Yeah, and Robert's been specializing in 2.0 Crusader, of course, and also testing the editor. Because that's one thing we do here. We test all the tools and the pipelines that the developers use.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why we need to specialize. Like, for
Right.
instance, if you're into level design or art, then you're testing all the tools that the artists and the designers are using. So, and that can definitely
Which is great.
get you where you need to be
Yeah.
if you have aspirations to go
Like,
into development.
previous jobs, they always just like stay out of the editor. Get out of that. It's not your job. You don't need to do that. That's our job. You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But it's super helpful because we help like the development just keep moving forward if they happen to be blocked with some sort of editor bug.
Right.
Because we're changing the engine so drastically that you can have some issues down in the editor.
Yeah, there's constant new stuff going on in the editor.
Yeah.
New tools they put in constantly.
The cool thing about, I guess, being in QA, the thing I like about it the most is that every day is different. We never know what to expect when we come in. Some days we have a little bit of normality where we can come in and get a new build and work on a checklist and just knock that out, different elements of the game, test new functionality coming online. But then there's other days when we have developers who are coming in, they're like, hey, I've got something coming online and it's coming in hot. I really need this checked out in like X, Y, Z, all these different ways and all these different scenarios. And those are fun. I think that's probably some of my favorite work to do, is just because it gives us opportunities to really get our hands dirty. An example of that was when they were getting ready for the motion capture shoot in Imaginarium. And that's another cool thing about working here that I like, is that, and especially like you said, one of the things you look for when hiring is that you look for things that people can do that maybe normal QA wouldn't do, and you utilize people's strengths. So I really appreciate that, by the way. And so a lot of us, we're familiar with 3D modeling and with 3ds Max, and so we had the opportunity to go through all the ships and get all these different ship measurements and help out the animation team in preparing for the motion capture shoot. And so we get a lot of oddball requests like that. So, but yeah, other than that, I mean, it's just going through builds, checking new features, making sure that everything is, up to standard that we want it to be. Yeah.
I get here early, and like what I try to do when I first get here is like see a general idea of how stable the builds are, so that when people get here, I can be like, hey, use this build, don't use this build, this one, just pretend it doesn't exist. Because it's just more efficient for the team in general to know which builds they should be spending their time downloading, because it takes, like, depending on how fast our network is going, it takes anywhere from like 10 to 30 minutes to download one of our builds, because our game is massive and only going to get bigger. I guess depending on how compression technology advances, but
and you usually need a couple different streams too, so you gotta
get
started
like
in the right
sometimes we
order
have to
and,
get
like,
2 or 3 different builds,
Yeah.
which is time consuming. So it helps to have an idea of what works, and then once I have an idea of what works, I try to keep on top of regression as much as possible, because like regression testing is one of my big, like I'm such an advocate for regression testing, because it forces you to spread out what you're testing in the game, because in the event that you've finished regressing all of your stuff, it's really easy to be like, all right, well, what's a part of the game I haven't tested in a while that I can do regression on really easily? I'll search for all the tutorial bugs that are resolved, and then you just start regressing tutorial bugs, but in the process of regressing all the tutorial bugs, you find a bunch of other stuff that's broken. And then as you do that, you write tutorial bugs, which then in the future forces you to go back and regress more tutorial stuff. So it just kind of branches out and forces you to test more of the game without even realizing it. And it ends up being a really organic way of learning about how the game works and stuff like that. It's also really important for me to regress the stability things that make the game break all the time.
Yeah, you're the one who focuses on like all of that. Like,
it's my goal to try and get the game as stable as I possibly can. Less crashes, please. But
just in case anybody doesn't know, why don't you say what regression is?
Regression is where QA will go through all of the bugs that a developer has marked as resolved, and go and retest them, because either sometimes the bug will not be fixed or it will be fixed, but something else that is around that system will have broken in the process of it being fixed, which is usually the case.
It's constant, yeah.
Yeah, like usually, like if someone marks something as fixed, it's usually fixed.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not. Most of the time it is, but also most of the time something else broke in the process.
Yeah, usually if it's like a big bug, you can expect once it gets fixed, there'll be a couple little bugs that pop up.
You got 5 bugs. Yeah, you got 5 bugs. You fix one of them, so now you have 9 bugs.
Yeah, I feel like if I ever regress something and I don't find something else that's broken, I feel like I missed something. I'd be like, all right, this is fixed. There's nothing else that went wrong. What am I missing?
Yeah, it's really common that they'll fix a bug because they think they know what's wrong with it, but it's actually something entirely different causing it. And so it's just still present. So we reopen those issues, and
Yeah, it's like the analogy I like to use. It's like peeling the layers of an onion.
Yeah.
And you just keep peeling it, and one of those layers you pull off, and a bunch of spiders could come out.
That's how it was yesterday when we were trying to get some screenshots from marketing, and we were like, all right, so we're in this one issue where we cannot get into this building because of whatever. And so we were figuring out all these different troubleshooting steps just to get past that door that wouldn't open. And then we finally get inside. We're like, all right, we're inside. All right, let's pull out our weapons so we can get the screenshot. We're like, wait a minute, I don't have any weapons on my character. We're like, yeah, so sometimes it's like a layer of an onion. It's like the perfect analogy.
Ogres have layers, onions have layers, cakes have layers.
But
ogres have layers?
It's a Shrek reference.
Sometimes we could have like an insane blocker, and production's like, okay, if we fix this blocker, then we're good. And we're like, no, because it blocks this entire part of the game, and there could be like
all the bugs are connected.
There's no telling what we'll find once we get access to that area.
Like the build that we're currently on, we spent like 2 weeks getting rid of most of the client crashes, and we're like, all right, we can log into build now, and the servers crash all the time. All the time.
Yeah, that's one thing we're doing with 2.0. We're super on top of getting production the list of must-fix issues that we feel should be fixed before we go to the test environment, and so we're definitely on top of that and have a pretty solid list right now.
Yeah.
So development pretty much knows what to work on to get us out there, but we're trying as hard as heck to get out to the PTO as soon as possible. Let's talk about a little bit about like when things start getting crazy, like when we start ramping up to a different release or demo.
Hours of overtime.
Like, let's talk about that a little bit. I guess I can start off with saying that so we'll start having daily syncs for whatever release we're doing with production and the stakeholders. And so we'll be doing that every day. We'll be giving them updates on must-fix issues. There'll be a lot of frantic progression testing because like everybody starts to really focus and get these things knocked out quickly, and then we have to jump in and start regress testing like madmen.
And constant new builds too. It's like every other hour I'm downloading another build.
Constantly kicking them off to get in that next fix, that next change.
And guaranteed at least one of them is going to be completely like miraculously broken when it comes out. And the whole level's just gone for some reason, and you have to wait a whole other hour.
Yeah, when everybody starts to make changes to the same build and start doing a lot of fixes, then a lot more stuff can break.
Yeah.
And so we have to be on top of that too.
And the devs seem to test their own stuff less when they're trying to they got like 10 things on their list to put in. So they just throw them in, they don't even look. They're like, let QA look at it, and it's like, no, now we can't test anything because this broke.
Yeah, plenty on their plate.
For releases and for when we're demoing something at the conventions, it's a lot of QA standing over a developer's shoulder or developer standing over the QA guy's shoulder, and he's like, all right, it's in there, check it out. Or, I just checked something in. Can we kick off a new build and get that build as quickly as possible, check it. It's like, oh, we need to change a few more things. And so it's just a constant like real-time cycle, and it gets really fast-paced. And
we start working later hours.
It's exciting, though. It's exciting.
That's a lot of fun.
So that's when all the puzzle pieces are coming together for either a big demo or for a big release. And
well, it's like we spend a lot of time like in QA where like everyone's working on their stuff for a long period, and we're not having anything to test.
Specializing
we're looking
in
at the same
things.
map as yesterday with a couple different changes, and then like the flood hits where they all hit check in, and then just like everything happens at once. So we have like 2 days to fix it.
Yeah. One thing is like like you say, it's a lot of fun. We try to have fun. Like every time it is, we do have to do overtime. It's always optional, but everybody's just so gung ho. Like we're all fans of the game. So we really want it.
I'm kind of a fanboy.
I've been a backer for so long, my Aurora has LTI.
We have developed a pretty healthy ownership of the game, and we definitely want the best for it.
That was like my whole like interview cover letter was just like, I love this game. Please let me work on it.
You were like, who do you want me to kill?
Who do you want? No, the best part about your interview is you in your cover letter it said what was it? Who do you want me to kill, or who do I have to kill to do this? And then your follow up. You know, the professional thing to do is you wait a week or two and then you follow up with the person who interviewed you. And your follow up was, have you thought of a person yet?
I'm serious though. No, I'm serious.
I was sold.
Yeah. A lot of running around with your hair on fire. A lot of like following up with other people that have their hair on fire.
QA leads running around the building screaming obscenities into Tyler's recording phone.
Yeah, we're always like going crazy with all these issues, and then like somebody walks in like, hey, can we get some screenshots for marketing? We're like, no, get out, get out, we're busy.
But we end up doing it anyway, and it all works out. Yeah, there's a lot of frantic prioritizing, like you do this, no, you do this, and you do that. And so make sure everything's like firing on all 4 cylinders. But at the same time, I feel really confident that when that does happen, we are actually firing on all 4 cylinders, and we're getting a lot done, and just like helping out the game a lot.
Yeah.
But one good thing about the craziness that happens before release is that it just like it may be stressful, but it completely slingshots development forward. Like after the smoke clears and all the dust settles, we're like, holy crap, what do we have here? A completely different game.
Yeah, it's so satisfying.
And that happens like every time, and it's super satisfying and fulfilling.
It's really great.
But cool, yeah, I'm so glad we could do this. We were trying to fit this in, and we kept postponing it because we were just testing like crazy on 2.0 Crusader. But I think we probably maybe need to go back to work, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, you guys go, I'll stay here.
Yeah, I'm really glad we could do this.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Quick, sing a song.
Don't.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that ate all your cues about what QA really does. We've made some changes to the RSI store this past week, and we'd like to share them with you. The first iteration of the automatic unmelt tool is now available. This is a special area of the website that allows you to purchase limited packages that you had in the past, but then melted to, say, upgrade to a different ship. So if you're, dreaming out some ship you've had in the past, check it out. It may be available in the Unmelt store. And are you still searching for the perfect ship for the Star Citizen in your life? We've got a limited 4-day digital sale going on right now with a number of ships that don't usually appear. Check them out. There's a comm link on the front page right now. And now, your MVP. This week's award goes to L Dragon for his incredible Star Citizen pixel art. Check them out. They are very cool tiny ships. Here they are. And now, your Star Citizen art sneak peek.
Warn me when that's going to come up, man. Jeez. All right, guys, this is the next landing zone.
We'll be talking more about that sneak peek, not tomorrow because there's no RTV this week. We will be back live on January 8th. And until then, you're just going to have to figure out what that was yourself. From everyone here at Cloud Imperium Games, we'd like to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and it's been a pleasure creating this game for you. We can't wait to do more. Special thank you to subscribers for making this show possible, and we will see you next time on Around the Verse.